It is actually quite a nutshell. It concludes everything. I can only spare my time with you for like 12 lectures. And perhaps you will probably spend more time with Eva, the 12 tutorial sessions. It is actually not sufficient. 12 sessions to learn everything for investment management. It is kind of crazy. Because when I was at your age, when I was studying finance, this particular course actually split into like 4 different classes. So it took me like 2 semesters, each semester 2 courses, 2 full courses to learn everything about investment management. Equity is one course, fixed income is another course, options is another course, valuation is another course. So it is actually has to split into 4. And then when I talked to the department head about this, and then he said, hey, you can actually trim down a lot of stuff and don't do too much complicated things. But the thing is, if I only tell you some like the service and not the depth, you will miss the whole big picture. So that's something that I don't want to, because you have to learn to a certain extent before you can actually walk out there and to tell others that you know everything about investment. So this is something I try to do my best for that. So I'll go through this really quick, because I assume that you have taken the courtesy to actually review some course notes. So the course structure: 12 lectures, 2 hours each, and then that will be 24 hours. As I said, this is actually reading the contents of investment management. 呢個只不過目錄，咁啊成個絕世武功，你係好多十年，好多個 decade read that. So only 24 hours. So what will be in the course? The assessment, i.e., like how should we grade you? So there are there are actually 6 different things. The first one is the 2 assignments. So assignment number 1, and then assignment number 2. And assignment number 2 has two parts in it. One is the performance, and I will tell you about a little bit more. Performance. The second one is the investment report. So that's 2 and 3 is actually is 1. And then of course, like the quiz, the final quiz, and then there will be in-class assessment, 3 in-class assessment, and then the participation. The participation mainly will be the tutorial forward. For myself, I don't care if you attend this particular lecture or not, but you better attend the tutorial sessions. It is far more important. I mean, if you aim for a good grade, then the tutorial session will be extremely important. So let me tell you this. So make sure you attend the tutorial session. For this particular lecture, I will tell you a lot more stories. And if you believe that your opportunity cost is much higher to do something else, feel free to do so. I myself, I'm not an attendance taker. I will have some polling questions, but you don't need to be here to get the polling questions. I will have the polling question ready in OLE, and then you can just kind of 24 hours to do it. But for the tutorial part, it will be in the tutorial session. So make sure you do that. Again, like in the first 2 weeks, I'm not going to do any attendance taking. So I'm not going to do polling. And actually, I do hate polling. That's a school requirement. I cannot change it. So this is the entire layout. So if you have to count, that's 6 different parts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 and 3 is actually considered 1. Is assignment number 2. Assignment number 2, and that's the weighting. If you see, it's a 25% assignment 1, 25% assignment number 2, and then 30% for the quizzes. For the quiz, 1 quiz. In-class assessments, 3 of them, and then there will be participation. So it is not that compared to 2 years ago, this is actually much easier, because we have some weighting change. There will be a final exam. We don't have a final exam, but we change that to a quiz. So that's 1 quiz, and that's 30% weighting, and that will be in April, end of April. So any particular question for this so far? No? So how do you prepare the course from your perspective? Very easy. Whenever you stepped in, I know it's a 9 o'clock class. No, except for the tutorial, you have a better time. But for the lectures, I hope you guys can have a clear mind. First of all, make sure that you're sharp for the day. Second, make sure you have the money making mind. I know money is not everything, but money can buy you a lot of things. Your money can buy you a kidney, can buy you a leg, can buy you an arm, even later on can buy eyes, ears, and everything. But I want you to have a money making mind, because if you have a money making mind, then your answer will be more logical, more reasonable. And another thing is, when you stepped out of this classroom, always question everything. Why do you, let's say the credit card company make a store outside of the Bank of China? Why do they want to do that? Why do they charge such and such interest rate for the credit card? Why do you always get a phone call saying, hey, do you want to borrow money on a mobile phone? I'm sure many of you have encountered this experience. Why do you get those calls? They said it's a free money. Why is it a free money? You always ask yourself about this. Every single thing you see out there has a purpose, has an agenda. If you don't understand the agenda, then it will be very easy to fall into a trap. So don't always question yourself, always question others, including me. So whenever I said something to persuade you, you always ask, what is my intention? Right? So anything outside of this classroom, there will be intention. So what is the purpose here for me? Well, for me, it's more like to share the knowledge, right? But for you, you always have to question, because if you don't question, if you always believe, then it's very, very easy to fall into a trap. So remember, question everything, and then acknowledge the importance of fears. And I will tell you what fear is. Fear, of course, the word itself, you worry about something, but actually, I want you to remember the word fear. There's happening. And of course, remember to submit your homework assignment on time. Basically, I don't want to say I would guarantee you, but pretty much promise you, if you fulfill every single requirement, I'm not going to fail you. So you can only fail yourself. Last year, I have every single student pass. There are actually 3 students cannot pass because they never submit any assignment. It is not my choice. So you can ask Eva about this, and other courses, they may have a certain line of 5%, 10% failure rate. And I hate that, because mine should be 100%. If I fail, that means I fail on my part. But then at the same time, if you get a fail grade, it means like you miss, definitely you miss one thing, one thing or two. So make sure you submit everything online on time in the right format. And in the right system. So OLE is everything. And then another thing is read more business news. So I woke up early in the morning, and I always sometimes I woke up in the middle of the night to watch the US news. So it's news, business news, everything, economic news. I want you to pay more attention to what's happening nowadays. So what's going on nowadays? Inflation. Yesterday, the U.S. market dropped for two consecutive days. So what happened with the Hong Kong market? That's investment. What happened with the stock market? What happened with the bond market? What happened with the real estate market? So try to read more news because it's actually related to you, and prepare for roller coaster calls. It's going to be up and down, and then you'll be frustrated because in assignment number 2, there is a game that you're going to do, and there will be some frustration, but I'll give you more details. So what do you expect from me? Do you have any clue? What do you want me to do? Give A's to everyone? Of course, that's impossible. School policy has another rule. I wish I can do that, but I will try. Not A's, but at least a high grade. What do you expect from me? Give you a number, give you a picker symbol, 700. You don't know that number? Who knows 7700? Submit the whole LE. Oh, you need posting the PowerPoint to whole LE? Yeah, I can do that. But you can actually check the one. I will show you the Google Sheet. Google Sheets, and you can check the PowerPoint for them. So anyone knows the number 700? You don't know? 9988 941 0005. Which one is Alibaba? What is 005? That will be in the quiz, right? Should we put in the quiz? No, this is just kidding. You don't need to memorize those things. Okay, no. I'm just saying that hey, because people ask me a lot of times, even the class from last year, hey, teacher, can you give me a number? The one number? A grade number? No, it's a ticker number, which is the stock number, the stock code. We call it stock code. And with the stock code, hey, there must be some substantial return going forward, right? Of course, no. If I know what is stock code, do you think I was standing here like to do the lecture here? No, probably not. No, not like that, not like that. But then we'll get in touch with those ticker symbol. What is ticker symbol? How should we see that? When people talk about 700, what is that? That's Tencent. 9988, that's Alibaba. How about when I talk about 0005, that's Hong Kong Bank. That is correct. 941. Well, you can make the search for yourself. But of course, you don't need to memorize everything. I'm not asking you to do this because I cannot do that. So we'll go back to here. It took me a huge bold move to actually to take a cell phone outside of MTR and then take a picture like that. So I saw this advertisement. It said it's a forex. So F-O-R-E-X, F-O-R-E-S-T. So what is that? What is forex? Anyone has any clue? Forex? What product? It is actually the foreign exchange. Forex. So the people, it's an acronym. So the full name is foreign exchange. So they call it forex, and forex. So it is the is algo trading. Correct. That is correct. They use the algo trading in this particular asset class, foreign currency. So it's buying the Japanese yen, selling USD, buying the pounds, and selling the euros and things like that. And this guy, it's very cool, huh? So Benzer, they said, well, it's trying to sell the these things, and then they teach you, and then all you need is $388, very cheap. Think about this. What is the agenda? What is the intention? Question yourself, why do they want to sell this thing to you? Do you think there is always a profitable, always make return? And the key is this part right here. You really believe that? I don't understand why SFC. Well, you know who knows what SFC is? It's a regulator, Hong Kong regulator, Hong Kong financial regulator, regulates all business transactions regarding securities, publicly traded securities, which include well, actually not SFC. SFC is not included in ethics. So that's and there's another. I think it's maybe HKMA monitoring this, but not SFC. It's not a publicly traded securities. But anyway, I was wondering why the government is not monitoring or regulate this thing, because this has a totally false claim on that. Because you said that there's another seller. But what if I lose the money? And of course, like this is a very typical program advertising, and they teach you what to do. One thing I want you to know is my experience told me that I've never ever seen a portfolio manager that can win has a sustainable long-term return from foreign exchange market. You can argue with me. You can choose not to believe in me, but my my experience told me that I've never ever seen a portfolio manager, an average portfolio manager that can make money. So whenever you see any 外匯策略專家、外匯組合基金經理、外匯炒外匯 I have never ever seen one that can make continuous profit in that. Can you make continuous profit in fixed income? Yes. Fixed income means a bond. Can you make money from stock market? Yes. I've seen it continuous like 20 years. Some famous one, Warren Buffett. Who knows Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett, 巴菲特。中文。That's why I said I need to use the Chinese term。巴菲特個個都識啦。巴菲特出咗名，佢係長線投資者，佢賺好多錢。好多對沖hedge fund managers 對沖基金經理they actually earn a lot of money, sustainable long-term money, but not in forex. So that's one thing. It's one takeaway that you can get at least from this lecture, right? Never do forex. Let me show you a video clip, and I want you to see what's going on. Anyone know this guy? I assume that you don't, right? I don't know either. No, I don't know this guy. So try to listen to what he said, and then I'll ask you a question.
講埋隻吉利咧，即係大家都會覺得吉利就唔。
So he is the host, and this guy on the left-hand side is the guest, the commentator, right? Okay, just listen to what he says. And so right now it's the host commenting about this stock, Geely, right? Okay.
救新能源啦，咁但係其實佢都係有電動車業務噶嘛，咁不如睇下大行又點樣講先咧？嗱，花旗先，花旗咧就話吉利旗下嗰個電動車領克咧就話上個月嗰個出貨量就多過市場預期嘅，而且平均售價咧超過33萬人民幣啦，就好高啊，就話咧仲話考慮咧會調高嗰個就目標價啦，即係就話總之等多項催化劑啦嚇，簡單嚟講目標價睇到咧係繼續維持緊52個2毫半啦。評級買入嘅，不過大和咧就個睇法有少少分歧啊，就話維持係持有評級，目標價咧就28蚊啫，認為咧領克出貨量就數據唔算好驚喜，都係對於加埋對於即係領克喺內地發展咧都係審慎態度啊，未有話好有說服力嘅，其實你又點樣睇呢兩間大行嘅講法咧？你會比較 buy 花旗啊定大和嗰種講法咧？
我就。So you heard what the host said, right? The host basically simplify, summarize some investment, some analysts, some research analysts from big firms about like what's the outlook for this particular company, right? They talk about the industry outlook, the production, and then the let's say the margins and everything, right? And so after he finished the speech, and try to listen to what he said, the commentator, the guest speaker, right?
啱啱企喺中間，我係心性比較多啲，因為如果你以翻佢自己本身有車係賣緊嘅時候，個表現都唔錯啦。咁但係你要個突破性嘅增長比較難咯。咁你喺翻吉利自己。
So first of all, he said, well, if the company can sell the car, that's the one statement he made, right? Of course, everyone can sell something, right? So he made one statement. Continue to listen.
本身個股價大家都會見到啦，淨係呢幾個月。個股價都係做緊一個叫橫行嘅走勢，咁即係話變相你要佢自己本身有個明顯嘅突破比較難咯。上邊一貼住講緊係28、29附近，跟住就冇乜力水走翻落嚟。但係一貼近翻講緊21啊、20蚊邊附近咧，佢又有個承托，咁即係話都係維持住一個叫炒緊上落嘅一個格局咯。咁我覺得大家咁樣去處理或者對待吉利，暫時會比較理性化少少。
好啊，幫下家人觀眾下。
So you heard what he said, right? Do you believe him? Do you guys believe him? So he only make one actually express one fact. The fact is, well, Geely is probably selling cars. Who doesn't know that Geely is selling cars? I know Starbucks is selling coffee every single day, right? That's a fact, right? It is not even something that is very it is an insight. And then what did he do next? You just basically look at this chart, and then say, hey, maybe there's a ceiling here, $28, and then there is a There's a bottom line here, $20, $22, and then well, maybe that's around the price here. Can you do that? If I ask you to go into his position, can you actually do that? Yes, you can do that. He is the CEO, he is the chief investment officer of a company. So do you think he has sufficient analytic skills that should do his job? If he can do that, actually, every one of you here can actually do the same thing, right? I can show you another chart. And all you need to do is, well, if the company is making a lot of sales, then according to this chart, and I know that the top line is here, the bottom line is here. Should I put this in a quiz and then ask you the same question? What is your outlook for this particular stock? Everyone will definitely get an A, right? That would be a problem. But try to listen to what he says.
袁小姐26.5買吉，
Someone call up to the station and then they said
你喎問
he said she bought it at $26. So let's see what his answer is.
前景喎。
前景啊，正如頭先所講啦，如果你話要係比較專注新能源汽車嘅個爆發力嘅話，當然頭先嗰3隻啦。但係如果你吉利暫時，我覺得都係一個叫上落波幅咯。即係如果差少少嘅，令到你擔心啲嘅，就係大概20蚊邊。咁但係而家暫時最叻嘅話咧，你見到佢每次貼到去28附近已經無以為繼嘅話咧，我覺得去到28你又可以由赤兩減一減持啦。唔能夠升穿嘅話咧，又可能喺翻呢個波幅裏邊走住上落先。
明白，即係始終係即係可能即係28啊或者30嗰啲個蟹貨都比較
嗰啲
多啲咁樣。
阻力區到去嗰位。
Do you think he knows anything about the company besides selling car? Well, of course, I know he's selling car. I know how to read Chinese, at least these 2 words.
12分個精神啦。
係好啊，咁啊暫時見到啊報喺22.9啦，跌幅唔夠1%。幫位家庭觀眾咧，就係許小姐啊喺電話旁邊喎。許小姐你好。
兩位主持你好。
係許小姐你好。
你好。
我想問係啊，新達能源啊，1799啊。
係。
我23蚊買嘅點算啊？可唔可以
She says she bought it at $23, 1799.
揸還是點樣換碼啊
3蚊買嘅
23蚊
，23蚊買係嘛？
23蚊買啊！我覺得加注就暫時唔好加注啦。咁可以睇一睇嚟緊究竟佢而家暫時一啲支持位個承托力夠唔夠先啦。你話呢個位置減持，因為我自己暫時覺得佢都係處於一個叫炒緊上落嘅格局。你喺呢啲位置減持咗，佢一陣一個不尾十又同你走翻上20蚊樓上咧，咁你又俾人左一巴右一巴噶啦。調翻轉，暫時不一動不如一靜啦。咁你可以暫時持有住先啦，但係你有個心理準備，可能要捱一捱先咯，捱一捱，因為佢下邊啲支持位逐級推翻落去啦，14啊、14.5啊都有機會掂一掂到嘅。咁但係你既然你喺23到而家都守到落嚟16.5嘅時候咧，我傾向暫時持有住先啦，但係加注就唔好加注，睇下究竟有冇啲彈力喺乜嘢位置出現先考慮加注啦。而家就暫時唯有持有先，但係有個心理準備，係喺心理上可能會仲有少少嘅下跌嘅空間喺度咯。
好啊，咁啊暫時見到呢隻跌幅1%。
He spent like 2 minutes talking about the same thing, and repetitively, right? It's just about this particular chart, and then the up is here, down is here. Do you know? Can you capture any information from this guy? Besides, like there's the upper ceiling here, and then the bottom floor is here. No, nothing. Do you think it's a waste of our time to do that? Well, hey, at least I watched this video more than like 10 times just to prepare for this. But I don't like this. Well, personally, I don't know this person. So I'm definitely not a big fan of him. But one thing I want you to keep in mind. After this course, 385, I don't want you to say something like this. Because if this guy making a lot of money can sitting here doing these things, every single one of you, including myself, can actually go up there and then do that. Last year, I asked the same question about the entire class. The entire class actually was laughing at that. Hey, this is the chief investment officer. I mean, if you consider like how high the corporate ladder you need to climb up, that is really a senior position. And you're making a recommendation like this, someone with the bloody money, I don't know, $10,000, and trying to get an advice from you, and then you just pinpoint that this is the ceiling, this is the floor. without talking about anything about the company, or even do you even know the stock? Most likely he doesn't even know the stock, but he just make a claim that, hey, you should buy, wholesale, do something like this. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I want you to know something from this particular course is once you get out of here, and actually not even get out of here, but when you are doing your assignment number 2, then you are going to make some professional recommendation. You're going to use much more logical sense to see to do the investment. It is not just reading charts like this. By the way, I'm going to show you what is a professional way to do this charting. That one is a kindergarten stuff. What he says here is kindergarten. Not even kindergarten, it's pre-kindergarten, pre-K. And I'm going to show you investment bank level, the professional level, how you can use charting, because charting can be much more advanced, much more science in here. So this is absolutely something that crazy, something crazy. So let's continue. So this is the course value. I want you to have the right path to investment. It is not just a joke. It is not about guessing, drawing 2 lines here. I want you to have the support. I want you to have the data to support your claims. I will show you how to calculate the estimated price. It can be wrong, but at least you have the support to the number. So your expectations, how much do you pay for the course? Have any one of you calculate that? You pay your tuition, divided that by 12 sessions, divided by, let's say 4 courses this semester, this term, and then 4 courses, this particular course, I don't know how much, $10,000, and then divided that by 12. Every single hour you sit here, you're paying like at least $500 to listen to me. It's better than that Benzer, right? He was actually asking $388. But you pay me here, well, not me myself, but for paying the school, close to $500 per hour. And I want you to get more than $500 an hour. That is the value added. I mean, if you can only get less than $500 an hour, so let's say you can only get maybe $100 advice from me, then maybe you should do something else, right? But again, $500 is already sunk cost. It's out of your pocket already. The school deposit the check. So if you have to really consider that, it's either 0 because you're going to do nothing out there, or you're going to get maybe something from here. So that's my my logic to you to try to come to class. But the tutorial session, that's a different thing. Tutorial sessions, you're aiming for the grade. So that's a different thing. So the question to yourself, do you want to waste this money? How can you optimize in this lecture, in this 2 hours? And every single time I will tell you more stories, like my journey in the past. So my name is William Wong. You can find me at www.twong, and that's my email. Right. And so who am I? Why will I have the guts and the confidence to tell you about this? So I was 20 years ago, I was someone like you, but I went to I went to the States, United States, a small town in Virginia, and then I studied finance, my business school over there. So University of Virginia. So many of you probably may not have that because it's a small school. And then after that, I went to Wall Street in New York City and tried to find my path. And I joined JP Morgan and then Morgan Stanley for the first 5 years. So investment bank was my goal. Anyone heard of the term investment bank? No? 投資銀行. That's why I said, hey, you guys should raise your hands. 投資銀行 JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, 大摩細摩兩間都做過。New York City 做咗5年。After 喺5年裏邊，我攞咗個 CFA CPA， 好彩，因為依家你問我，乜都唔記得晒，真係唔記得晒。咁我喺頭嗰幾年就考咗呢排。So Chartered Financial Analyst CFA, Certified Public Accountant CPA。當年我考嗰陣時係需要呢 兩樣嘢去做一個 equity analyst，即係可以話叫企喺度頭先講嘢嗰個人啦。最少呢兩樣，但係你覺得頭先嗰個人有冇咧？我就唔覺得有。Anyway，咁咧 ，after 5 years, I went to get my MBA. So UC Berkeley. Anyone heard of UC Berkeley? Berkeley? No? 卡哈萊 is in California, University of California. So anyone heard of Janet Yellen? Yellen? No? She is a nice lady. She was in the news for a while. And even a few days ago. You don't know Yellen? You don't know this lady? 真係唔知啊！哎呀，前美國財長係咪財長？財長，現今係 Treasurer 美國嘅 Treasurer 財務部嘅主管。前幾日先見完劉鶴嚟。劉鶴大家識啊？嗬？點講國語？劉鶴。佢就係我 professor， 佢咧真係佢之前係聯儲局即係Federal Reserve 嗰個chair lady， 即係最大係佢控制加息減息嗰個，佢就喺 Berkeley 嗰度教，咁係之前係個 professor， 咁即係變相咩咧？你哋坐得晒喺度嘅咧，你哋嘅師公咧就係 Janet Yellen。嗱，你可以 claim 呢樣嘢。真係唔知 Berkeley 啊？咁你知唔知呢個？呢個可能你唔知。有冇人睇過呢套戲 ？Anyone watch this movie before? I know it's a generation gap. Beautiful Mind. You know him? He is a pretty famous professor, Nobel Prize winner. Of course, this is Russell Crowe, but the actual person, he was playing the actor John Nash. So John Nash discovered the economics, one of the economics theory, the Nash equilibrium. So he is actually a genius, and I was his student's student. So it will be your grand teacher in this case, right? So this guy is actually pretty, this guy is pretty famous for one of the economic theory that is used nowadays in the political conflict. But it was a pretty cool. It was a good school. You don't know Berkeley? It was a really nice school, very nice weather. Go there. So after that, I joined the UBS. So anyone UBS? Anyone heard of this investment bank? No. Okay, you guys know that. So I joined there as a hedge fund manager. Afterwards, so that was a 對沖基金經理. So I was in New York City for a long time. So managing $250 million before the global financial crisis in 2008. And you will know about the global financial crisis. And then after that, I returned back to Hong Kong and then get my master of law. Don't ask me why. It's a long story of law in Hong Kong U. And then I worked at China State. So anyone, well, probably everyone must have heard of SAFE, right? State and Ministry of Foreign Exchange. 中國外匯管理局. That I managed over 80 billion AUM. So that was only like two portfolio manager managing that large amount of money. So I was a head of global trading. So if you have any questions about investment trading, anything like that, you can ask me for that. And then after that, I worked on real estate deals for several deals, a local firm, and then as a head of asset management in local house. So that's me. So if you ask, do I have sufficient experience for this course? Yes, I think I do. Even I forgot everything about CFA and CPA. All right, so why am I here? One important thing. I'm not here to teach, and I'm here to share. So you'll hear me telling you a lot of stories. You'll hear me telling you a lot of experience, particularly bad experience. You want to lose money? Yes, I will lose a lot of money. And I will tell you every single story about losing money rather than making money. Making money, on the other hand, is actually easy because sometimes it's luck. But then losing money, a lot of times, is a bad decision. So that's something I want you to, I want to share with you. So I want you to learn and have fun in this course. So if there's any other objections about this, you let me know. Say, hey, this is too crazy. If it's too fast, too slow, I want to learn more. You let me know. So, question answered. Nothing. What about we provide a good credits, partial credits for those who attend this lecture, because there's supposed to be 60 students here. I know it is hard because next week is Chinese New Year. But as I said, I'm not going to do a lot of crazy things. I know you guys, some of you guys actually went back home already. So this will be a very, very quick course logistics. Let me go over this really quick. Yeah, it is the crazy dog here. Very easy. Assignment number 1, 20%. 5 questions, short answers, calculation type. Individual assignment. It's not group assignment. 但係我又冇阻止你會同其他同學傾偈。嗱 ，Eva 佢會教你點樣做。咁佢唔會幫你做，佢會教你個 direction 係點樣做，得唔得？咁啊好簡單好直接。Assignment number 2呢個就緊要啲啦，你要 focus 咗。咁其實都係好簡單。First of all, investment portfolio, P&L. What is P&L? You're going to learn a lot of acronyms. Profit and loss. Awesome. That's good. P&L. So all of you are recruited to a company, LSK Asset Management. And you will be, and you are actually part of the team, and you are working as a proprietary trader. You will be given $500,000 US, so $500,000, and you are going to create a wealth for the company. You know what LSK is? You need to build you the loyalty to the school. LSK? No. BCOK Asset Management. So it is the name of our business school. LSK. All right. You guys will have $500,000, and this particular job is going to be trading on a platform called a Market Watch. Every details is on the file, and I will share that with you shortly. And then there will be in the investment portfolio P&L. You're going to do some trade. You're going to place a lot of trade. So you're going to buy, sell stock, or even some fixed income, some bonds. You're going to do that. And then in the meantime, you're going to try to make the maximum. So will I penalize for those who lose money? No. 呢個好緊要嘅，我想話翻俾你聽。我哋計分方法 P&L 唔係賺得錢最高嗰個就會有最高分。你賺得最多錢，同蝕得最多錢都會係一個咁高分。所以係 top 差唔多係 top 20 to bottom 20。如果你可以喺個限期內，應該係2個月，2月1號至到4月幾號？4月6號4月7號，即係2月1號至4月7號。February 1st till April 7th. In these 2 months, if you are able to make to generate the most profit or to lose everything, then you're going to have a really, really high score in that 10%. 所以咧， 我係唔會 penalize 嘅。如果你可以喺呢2個月內全部錢攞晒嘅，我可以俾到10分你。唔好以為輸錢好容易，輸錢好難。Last year, students want to lose a lot of money, they cannot. Some students actually, a part of students want to lose a lot of money, but they cannot. They realize that losing money is actually hard. Doing nothing is also hard. And then making money is hard. It turns out that everything is hard, but actually it's not. I just want you to experience that. But hey, the best way to do is not do nothing. It's do something. The more you do, the better you will be on the extreme side. 所以係多 trade， 咁你就可以去到仲可能賺多啲，或者可能蝕多啲。咁呢個係一個策略，而家投資策略 investment strategy. And I will let you know after at the end of the course why will I give you this particular. You will never heard a boss to tell you to lose money, right? But I will tell you like why there is a case. All right, so that's 10%. Not that hard. It's 15%. On the other hand, it is actually not that hard. It is a short paper, short essay, and it is talking about your experience throughout these 2 months. So why do you pick the stock? What did you learn? That's pretty much it. And Eva will go through this with you in the tutorial session. So that's why I emphasize that. Attend the tutorial session. That's very, very important. And then the in-class assessment, 10%. There will be 3 in-class assessment. Unfortunately, I cannot cut further. It was 5 before, and 3 is the minimum. And so 3% each, around 3, 4, and conducted during the tutorials. And so it will be in tutorial sessions. But the lecture section will not have any ICAs. And then 3 times, most likely will be short questions. So it is not going to be that hard. The more important one is the quiz. The quiz is 30%. And in the last 2 tutorial sessions, Eva will go over the quiz with you. So the more you get from the tutorial session, especially the last 2 tutorial sessions, the more you can get. But throughout the course, Eva is going to prepare you for the ICAs, prepare you for the quiz, and then prepare you for the assignment too. So she is going to be extremely helpful. She was really very helpful to me, and then she will add a lot of value to you for your final grade. So very, very important. So quiz will have 3 questions, and the 3 different parts will be equity 10%, fixed income 10%, options 10%. And I'll show you what these are. And then the participation is 10%, which majority will be the tutorial polling question. And that will be it. Yes. Well, what kind of questions will there be in the quiz? It is not essay type. I hate essay. So it will be a very short answer. So most likely within 20 words. If you are not able to answer in 20 words, then you're in the wrong direction. Usually it will be in 20 words, but then there will be some calculation. 2 hours, 3 hours. You see, the quiz will be in the lecture time. So that will be on April 21st, 14th, on April 14th. It will be on a Friday, 9 o'clock. So everyone will study like crazy at night on the Thursday night, and then I come here at 9 o'clock, and then everyone will have a quiz together. And it has to be a face-to-face quiz, so you guys will have a written quiz. Probably. You see, this is the thing. This last year we have a quiz online. It's on a Saturday. Is a Saturday morning? I can't remember. Probably Saturday morning. Saturday morning, 9 to 11, 9 to 12, whatever that is. And I don't care. Open book, open notes, open computer. All I care is no WhatsApp, no WeChat. But even if you guys, well, last year the feedback was even if they open up the WhatsApp and WeChat, they cannot even communicate because I give you everything. I give you all the resources. I can let you open up the Excel, PowerPoint, whatever you need. The students did try their best. So for me, I don't really care. But then now, the school requires us to stay in the lecture hall to do the final. Well, before that, it was a final exam. So final exam is more, how should I say, more strict. I won't be here, but then the quiz, I can be here. Eva can be here. So that's a different thing. Of course, I'm not going to let you to. We were still thinking to see if you guys are allowed to use internet. But for me, I don't really care. 2 hours. Oh, it's a 2-hour exam. 2-hour exam. So 2 hours exam, 3 questions. Most likely you can use a half hour to finish 1 question. And my goal is you can leave it probably like in 1.5 hours. But my guess is you guys will probably stay for the whole 2 hours. So that will be the question. So there is no written, no long questions, no nothing. It will be just very simple calculations and short answer. What? Okay. Yeah, it's Eva will prepare you for the quiz. You understand that? So you make sure you attend the session. So I have emphasized that like many times. You can skip the lectures, but your lecture is more listening to my story, listening to my BS. But the tutorial session is getting really great. So the assignment 2, that's a little bit more complicated ones. So there will be a link to the project details and also the instruction link. There will be a mission. You are newly hired prop trader. The firm is LS Asset Management. I'm sorry, it is not Hong Kong dollars. It's actually US dollar. I upgraded that 7 times. So that's AUM is USD $500,000 initial investment, and objective is P&L in extreme, which means that butterfly strategy. I'll tell you like what butterfly strategy is. So P&L, which means that you will get a good grade if you are able to do the extreme, lose all the money or win a lot of money. So your colleagues, there will be your CEO, Mr. Ryan. Anyone knows who Ryan is? Well, remember the name. So Ryan, the CEO, Chief Investment Officer. It's Eva, the tutor. And then there is actually a CTO, Hank Gold, but he probably won't be here this term. And then the prop traders, there will be some colleagues called Steve. There will be Trader X, and then there's a Monkey. Monkey is an AI, artificial intelligence. And I will tell you like what Monkey is later on at the end of the semester. So AI, he will be the Monkey will actually generate a portfolio and will try to outperform in the market. And then there will be Steve and Trader X, and you will hear more and more stories. So the time is for February 1st to April 6th, April 6th or 7th. And the investment report will be due earlier. That is not correct. It is not due early. I think the report is due on the 14th, right? 17. Hey, what's happening? Let me change it. So that will be a 17. So that will be like close to 2.5 months. And the investment projects, again, assignment number 2, as I said, this is a little bit more complicated. It's about the investment portfolio that you have. There's incentive systems, which means your grade will link to the P&L. And there's a benchmark, and I will tell you next time what a benchmark is. The benchmark is a reference point. Your goal, if you are able to beat the benchmark, then you get an additional point. And there will be, of course, a Monkey and Trader X. If you're able to beat these 3 parties, you will get extra credit as well for the portfolio. So again, objective is a P&L in extreme. So if you said, hey, I lose all the money, that's fine. You will still get all the 10%. And then, of course, like investment report, P&L. And if you look at the lower right-hand side here, this is the point that you're going to get. So the performance itself. So how do you add up to 10 points, right? 10%, right? The 10% will be 5% of performance. But then if you are able to keep the benchmark, that's 1 point. If you're able to outperform Monkey, that's 2 points. If you're able to outperform Trader X, that's another 2 points. So even if you said, hey, my portfolio can only generate 5% return, but benchmark is 2%, Monkey is 3%, Trader X is 1%, you at least secure all five points because you're able to outperform these 3 points. So when the game starts, then you will see all these 3 parties are trading, doing all the trades, and you try to outperform it. But that's the relative part. The absolute part, if you're able to do the performance on the first 5 points, it will be according to this schedule. So if you're able to make a lot of money, let's say 10, 15%, 20%, that's a 5 points. But if you are losing all the monies or even beyond 20%, you will get also 5 points. If you are doing nothing, you will get at least 3 points. So what is the deal? Out of the 10 points here, if you are not able to do anything here, outperform these 3 parties, or even if you do nothing, you at least get 3 out of 10. That's the best I can offer you, right? So it is not a killing thing. You will get 3 out of 10 for everyone. But then can you get 10 out of 10? Last year, a lot of students actually get 10 out of 10 because a lot of students actually lose a lot of money, and a lot of students actually make actually not 5 but 4.5. But some people actually making 4.5 points here. So there is a relative and there is an absolute. And so when you combine this, there will be 10 points. But again, this is only 10% of the entire grade. What is more important is this investment report, which is the 15% part. The 15% part is on the left-hand side. You can see there are 5 different sections. If you're able to write a good paper on these 5 parts, then you will be okay. So the first one is, what is the big events in the last couple of months? You can talk about inflation, you can talk about economy, you can talk about the Chinese, US, whatever that is. COVID, that's definitely one thing, because when you open up the COVID, everyone is talking about the China COVID reopening. People got scared. The travel business, the bonds from the real estate, and then US inflation, all these you can write. So you don't need to write it, just copy, paste. Oh, by the way, plagiarism is a serious issue here. You can copy the idea, rephrase in your own word, copy and rephrase. Never ever copy paste. We are going to run under the Turnitin system. So whenever there's a problem, exact match, we need to report to the school. So copy and rephrase. That's the key words. And then the current performance. You are going to talk about the current performances and then the previous trades. So what current performances means? I make 8% in these 2 months. That's good. And then you talk about what did you trade? Oh, I did because I bought a Netflix, I bought a IBM, I bought a Goldman Sachs, I bought a whatever stock you have. And then what is the lesson learned? So what did you learn? Oh, I realized that Netflix was a good stock because there have more subscribers, and the margin was actually going better. And they changed its new CEO, and the old CEO actually did resign recently, and the new CEO will have a new direction, and they will try to cut costs as well. With all this, then you can have the lesson learned. That will be a 20%. Tactical move means your future decision. What are your plans for the next few months? And maybe I will unwind the method. I will switch to let's say energy sector. I will focus on ExxonMobil. Maybe I will focus on the IBM or Microsoft, or maybe 10 cent. That will be there is a 10 cent in trading in the US. I will buy a BABA, Alibaba, whatever you want. then you tell me not just the stock code. Tell me the reason why. And if you tell me that because the ceiling was $28, the floor was on $20, and then that's why I buy it, then you know it's going to fail badly. So I don't want you to do that kind of writing. So think about the technical moves, and then writing skills, forget it's insignificant. But this assignment 2 is the core thing that it will continue. And then you can actually do it on the continuous basis, which means that in the next 2.5 months, you can jot down some notes, and you can compile it later on, and that will become your investment report. And then the word suggested, this is what this is close to around 900 words. So it is actually not that not that much, not that long. And of course, this is what suggested. People submit 2,000 words to me, and I still read it. So, but you don't need to. If you gave me a report of 200 words, of course that's not good. But if this is a 2,000 words, I'll read it. I will not limit the what you said. So, any questions regarding assignment? I know there will be more later on. Yes. Yeah, this is a good question. Last year, you guys have your it did have a good system, and that system was allowed you to trade every single stock in the market, every single fixed income, every single futures, commodities, everything. But this year, unfortunately, that system got some bugs in it. So now you can only choose the ones in the U.S. market. But then, if this is listed in the U.S. market, a lot of Chinese stock listed in the U.S. market, you can actually go after that. So let's say BABA, you can buy it. Pizza Hut, you can actually buy it. That I can't remember the ticker symbol for Pizza Hut, but you can actually buy it in the U.S. So I urge you to maybe after the Chinese New Year, then you look into the maybe from this week in the next 10 days, you try to log on to the read through the that particular page. Sorry, on this. Go to here, link to the project details and link to instruction link, and you will see all the details. And I'll show you like the one more important thing before we move on. I'll let you have a break. So you just read the tips yourself, and so ask questions, participate in the tutorial sessions, and watch your portfolio. We call that that $500,000 your portfolio. So watch about your portfolio. P&L matters. That is the deal. So this is the Excel file I'm talking about, and you will have access to it. We will post that on OLE once you have this Excel file. Now this is the Google Sheet. So this Google Sheet will have everything. So first of all, you have the core stock here. You click on it, and then there's all the link. And then if you have want to calculation examples, and we will disclose that with you. And then all the PowerPoint slides will be here. You can click it, and then you will get everything here. And there will be all the date and time. People would say, hey, maybe I just save a copy, right? Don't do that, because we will update accordingly. And you will see the assignment number 1 due, and then assignment number ICA 1, ICA 2, ICA 3, and then the final quiz, and then assignment 2 the due, and then for the tutorial sessions, it will cover all this. And then if you see a red box here, there's no tutorial, no lecture or whatever. There's a calendar here on the right hand side, and you said, hey, what is the marking scheme? This is the exact marking scheme. You will have all the points here, how to do the valuation, the points, P&L, and then the investment report, everything is very detailed layout here. We don't have the benchmark yet. We will later on. And then you have the task. So assignment number 1, everything is here. And assignment number 2, all the project details. And then the platforms where you can join it. And then the rankings, so you can see the entire class ranking. And then what is in the investment reports assignment 2B? What is the rubrics? Look at the rubrics. And then well, there's nothing here first, and then the quiz, 3 questions. So the details will be uploaded here later on. And then of course the references. Sorry, let's go to Q&A first. You got a Q&A. You want to ask what is in let's say ICAs. You got the questions. I have the answers. You got the assignment number 1. What is assignment number 1? You get the answer. Assignment number 2, you can read through that. And then what is the general course, communication, investment P&L, how do you do the trading, and everything. So all the Q&As are here. And then and you can see like all the topics and then the questions. And then for the references, unlike other courses, I have a lot of references for you. And for the references, of course, it is for your knowledge. It is not going to be in the exam, not in the quiz, not in the ICAs. And if you ask, hey, can I read more text, more books? This is the bucket list I have. Random Walk Down Wall Street. If you don't read it, don't say that you have completed a finance course. That's like Finance 101. Even if you don't forget about textbook, you have to read this thing. Valuation, of course, that's an MBA level thing, but I studied every single page when I was an undergraduate. So I was really proud of myself for that. That was my Bible. That was my Bible for valuation. And then all these things you can do that. Live poker is another one, and all these things. If you don't want to read the textbook and say, hey, I'm not a reader, that's fine. You can be a watcher. I include more than 10 movies. You can watch the movies to learn finance. Every single thing. Big Shot, that's a very, 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 very good movie. Batman was cast in here. Who else? I think there's several superheroes cast in this big movie. Batman was in there, and then several superheroes was in there. And then Inside Job, Smartest Guy in the Room, Too Big to Fail, Margin Call, Moneyball. All these are good movies, so you can watch it at your leisure. And then, of course, like the readings. You click on here, have all the readings. Sometimes it's about the equity, sometimes about the valuation and all the stuff. So that's the references, right? And that's pretty much it. And you will have access to this folder, this file, and all the formula, all the homework assignments. And again, the PowerPoint will be here. So if you ask for next PowerPoint slide, I will try my best to post that early. But sometimes I make the last minute adjustment. So always use the online version. That will be better. But this will be the link here. So any question? Sorry. Can we use technical value? Yes. You in what? Are you going to use your question is, are you going to learn the technical valuation? Oh, yes. Whatever works in the game. Okay, that is actually a good question. So you probably missed the first half of it. You can use technical valuation, the charting, the stuff, and there will be a lot of here. The technical analysis on February 17th. I will tell you, I will show you how and what is the proper ways for the technical valuation. It is not just drawing 2 lines, ceiling and floor. You will learn a lot of different techniques. That is professional. Simply drawing 2 lines is not professional. Simply drawing 2 lines is just pre-K, pre-kindergarten. We are graduates. That's a different thing. And I will show you how to do that. Yes, you can use technical valuation. You can use whatever strategy you want. Last year there was actually several strategies. Some people use a long short equity, some people long only, some people focus in particular sector, some people just buy the bonds, the fixed income. So there are different types of investment or investment strategies that you can deploy. So whatever makes sense and reasonable. And I want you to be professional. That is the key for assignment number 2. All right. I will have a short break for a couple of minutes. 10:25, right? Okay. That's and if you have any questions, you can stop by now. Let's have a quick break. Let's get back 10:25. All right. Yes. It should be in the I will post the link of this file on OLB. Okay. Không phải đời cháu, không phải cháu không. Strike 係100，咁你個跟個 stop line 成績話7蚊，咁你就7蚊咯，但係減翻你可能 pay 個 cost 係咁樣，總之個 strike 係個 stop line 啲，咁你都要賺，呢個賺嘅錢減到嗰個 cost 上去。記得咗個問題。你問我個問題好多難度，真係難。因為呢個係安全啲定㗎，你想先交翻嚟搞掂安全，任何問題都係點咧？就係專業個價。一開始嘅時候，嗱，咁我又唔係其實好簡單嘅啫。嗱，你譬如嗰個 stop， 我買個 stop 依家 trade 緊就10蚊啦，5蚊。咁你而家想開一個call 嘅 strike 10蚊，咁你覺得你會買幾多啊？調翻轉你嗰邊。嗱，依家 stop trade 就6蚊，下個禮拜 expect 個禮拜已經下個禮拜56蚊。咁你依家個 strike 係10蚊，咁你會出trade 只不過你話買啲你自己拿到嚟，要消費就唔係應該係定上，都唔係 option 嗱 trade 嘅6蚊 ，trade 嘅10蚊，咁你知道你自己最多係6蚊，唔好係sorry，你最多6蚊加埋你都要賺㗎，你要食飯，佢如果加就係細，咁你話5蚊賣俾你，咁你呢個佢咪即刻佢 你如果你5蚊賣俾佢，佢即刻拿住個嘢錢走埋啲人，咁你一定係落個半啦，開個6個嗱，問題就係嗰個無錢點地翻出嚟嘅咧？好大程度上咧，其實有數計嘅。咁我個叫 quick call fair，都係 quick call fair，但係咧我哋就簡單啲個 demand supply 講啦。你剛才指就係減少成本啊、低包啊、風險啊。咁你可以查一查嗰個叫 quick call fair，我唔知呢個我都要睇佢話發生咩。呢個賣咁你買賣嗰個總之佢可以食你問下啲就咁你嘗試下你做咗個好純粹等我自己再睇啲佢講得好我都想知。好，緊要我自己指嚟講。係咩？係啊。但我呢啲，我哋呢嗰個唔關你事，嗰個你有興趣。我同呢個你好似係叔叔嘅。唔係我啊，係阿 Vin 姐嘅。但因為哦 ，OK， 我嗰啲係點樣？呢個三分鐘。其实我几个比赛高股的比赛，一个是一个 CME 的，好，有問題，有冇咩特別問題？好 ，OK， 好多嘢學，好悶。多謝，你點解會對呢個小開燈好悶咧？其實哦，咁我明嘅，咁你好調翻轉，你要學個 corporate law， 我聽到呢兩個字我都想瞓啦。corporate law， 你呢度大部分嘢我話，即係 corporate law 係點啊？你嚟講我都講啦，corporate law 你都知係 corporate law 嚟。聽到都想瞓啦，我都唔知點，你叫我話我都我哋好驚嘅數字係跟住又邊呢個比賽叫咩？芝加哥期貨交易市場 CME CME trading 我唔知佢邊度嘅，但係我哋係好勁嘅。我哋要識啱好，因為 Crystal 話係啱好，唔一定啱好係用三個一嘅。哦，其實佢對唔到，佢接唔到你嗰啲嘢。不過希望你嘅 L 可以咁運作，或者買翻嘅 sell 咩，咁然之後自己去買之後，佢 system 可以咁應該接到，佢冇個 API。 我哋呢個 API，不過可以
因為如果要 API，我要整。
唔係佢未必有 API 俾到你，即係你想整佢都未必俾到。但係呢個咧係應該連有，所以。
但係你都要喺呢個機會度得。
我原來就係
我都唔使，即係我咁講，我盡量做咯。呢個我唔會激你嘅，即係你如果做得差嘅，我都可以俾你掉咗出去。即係。
你就係
你一係賺晒，一係蝕晒。
每人都有可能嘅事情發生。唔該晒。
嚇？唔慘即係你講嗰隻股票定係？之前係有啲學生係接近零嗰啲位咧，即係做咗好多交易，但係都係都唔想講。咁但係佢咧就因為做咗好多交易咧，佢嗰份 paper 好多嘢上，佢寫咗好多嘢出嚟。咁其實嗰度份 paper 都攞晒高分。咁所以調翻轉就係你乜嘢都唔做，又心方面就真係攞個零嘅咧，咁佢冇意思。我俾晒3分你都冇。咁所以係其實舊年就即係舊年個 market 係跌啦。所以個個都攞晒最攞都成分嘅，咁我係個 P&L 嗰度，所以其實都嗰個其實但係就俾一個 game 你去玩咯。有啲我哋聽有舊年有個最高分嗰個130幾%，兩個月130幾%。同佢練緊，有個 Trader X 係同佢練緊130幾個 Trader X 一路知道佢有呢個人存在，一路喺度爆130幾，咁兩個本來80幾、90幾、80幾90，最尾嗰個禮拜係咁喺度一個幾多個，所以一路喺度爭緊，佢爭取得好勁。其實有兩個學生一路取得好勁，嗰兩個學生就結果參加咗嗰個比賽，就叫咗去參加嗰個比賽。咁啊，其實佢哋攞到交易成績全球500幾隊，佢哋排到去唔知20幾嘅。全香港第一、第二嘅樣板，好鬼平，好真係。好之後，其實你咪講咗1A 同1B 嘅啦，係咪A 同？
我冇講你啲 slide 啊。
你冇講晒。咁我好快咁講。咁都得。
我下
即係唔係因為
我講咗個 test， 我講咗
呢個講咗，A、B 講咗。
大概點
？OK，咁我可以直接講試啦。
係嗰啲我再上堂嘅。係，唔好嘥你啲寶貴時間。
咁我直接講試。咁我哋講翻。走。我哋講翻00A 就知啦，lecture 1A 同1B 咧 overview 同 operation 咧，咁我就俾翻阿 Eva 去debrief 你喺個 tutorial session。咁其實嗰個唔係難嘅，就係佢就亦都想講翻嗱。我唔知啊 ，Eva 我自己介紹啦。嗱 ，Eva 佢自己之前咧前身佢都好經驗豐富嘅。咁佢做嗰個做啲嘢咧，譬如好似 IPO deal 咧，係做過都好多轉。咁啊，所以咧佢嗰個投資嗰個經驗咧，就亦都係我可以咁講喺商學院裏邊都揾唔到另一個人咁做嘅。嗱，咁譬如好似我咁樣，我就humble 啲啦。你都揾唔到第二個咁嘅樣嘅人。如果咁講，你話如果再去到中大、港大、科大嘅嗰班教授，佢哋嘅理論好叻，但係個實戰經驗係零嘅。咁啊，佢哋就我覺得啦，就遊文遊武多嘅。咁啊，即係企出嚟又我係professor， 我係 PhD 乜。但係個問題，你打我仗咩？你講嘅全部都紙上談兵。喂，我喺出邊周身累累，我20幾年經驗喺出邊，俾人射到成背脊都係箭，中到真係叫做死唔去。咁就喺度 survive 咗出嚟，咁我就係喺呢度教呢啲應該要點樣用啲嘢。咁所以咧，Eva 係佢自己佢本身之前咧未 join 之前咧都係一個 我哋叫做 practitioner 即係叫做有經驗嘅人入嚟咁，所以佢講啲嘢咧，我哋係唔同啲嘅。咁啊，尤其是我啦，咁我其實之前係冇教過書嘅，我20幾年你見到我全部都係出去做嘢嘅。咁啊，嗱呢度咧就今日20號啦，咁下年新年啦，咁其實我就有再另一啲新消息或者新嘅 update 再俾你，咁啊到下一堂先再講啦。咁啊依家唔方便講住，咁新年之後先再講關於我自己本身 status。咁啊呢個之後先算，咁啊因為到時之後咧，你就會覺得啊原來你睇我可能有另一樣嘢，另一個感覺出嚟。Anyway 啦，咁啊所以 Eva 講啲嘢咧係好 make sense 嘅。如果你上堂有乜嘢問題，關於譬如 career， 關於 finance career， 你可以直接問佢，亦都可以問我，咁係冇問題嘅。咁嗱就係咁樣啦。咁啊第二樣嘢就係Eva 會講1A 1B 啦。咁其實咧我知道你哋大部分我講廣東話你聽得明我，即係都 OK 嘅。即係如果你想我 flip 翻去英文，其實我都 OK 嘅。嗱，今日咧我係特別少少有錄低個 Zoom 喺度。咁啊，因為咧我知道suppose 應該多啲人嚟上堂。咁啲人咧因為 skip 咗呢堂同埋上嘅 tutorial session 咧，就唔明白好多 assignment number 1， 甚至乎最緊要 assignment number 2發生緊咩事。咁佢下個禮拜之後咧就會走晒佢出嚟問我點樣啊？阿 Sir 個 assignment number 2係發生咩事啊？點樣做啊？咁所以錄低咗之後咧，佢哋可以 playback 去聽翻究竟點樣做。所以我就暫時都咁做先。但係咧千祈唔好同學校講話我做呢樣嘢，因為咧學校係唔容許咁做嘅。嗱，咁我都同阿 Eva 講噶啦，我就係一個 rule breaker 嚟嘅，即係我話佢叫我做都我有一定查西嘅，我就最20幾年我都係唔中意聽佢講嘢，但係冇辦法，有啲嘢佢一定要睇住我有冇做。譬如 polling question， 我都唔想做，但係佢係逼住我要做，咁冇辦法啦。呢個 on record 已經，咁千祈唔好將呢啲嘢咧就 send 翻出去話俾人聽，話俾阿癲聽發生咩事咁啊。我同佢都好熟嘅，咁就希望大家唔好咁做啦。咁大家開開心心，最緊要學到嘢，去過咗呢堂。呢堂係應該會俾你哋嘅 accounting， 俾你哋嘅 law， 俾你嘅 corporate strategy， 應該係好玩好多嘅。咁同埋我哋咧係貼題，意思指今日個 market 做緊發生咩事，我哋即刻講啊。人哋其他 professor 咧係講緊3年前、5年前發生嘅事，我係呢啲太過時啦。我呢啲係新 course， 我哋講向前看嘅，即係究竟依家今年2023年會唔會入 recession 咧？我哋就研究呢個問題。OK， 咁大家明白啦嚇。咁嗱so before we get started, I want you to learn another important thing. I know it involves a lot of calculation, but if you take a step back, think about the whole story, the whole picture, then the calculation itself is actually not that complicated. Maybe I put it this way. The things that I'm going to tell you is going to get involved in assignment number 1 only. It will not be in the quiz, which is the 30%. And even if it is included in the ICA 1, it will be very, very light. It will be a simple calculation that you don't even need a calculator. Maybe I put it this way. And by the way, some people ask me, do I need a financial calculator? The answer is no, you do not need. I don't want you to spend $300 to buy a financial calculator. I mean, if you bought it, I don't know who asked you to buy it, but for me, I never use a financial calculator. And even when I was taking a CFA exam, the CFA level 3 exam 20 something years ago, I was actually bringing out a scientific calculator in the examination center because I don't think I need it. And eventually I proved that I don't need a calculator to get the exam. And by the way, just some funny story. You know, in the CFA exam, Chartered Financial Analyst, there is a section, 10%, talking about ethics. You know what ethics is? 道德觀念. So investment ethics. And people said that, hey, you need to pass that ethics in order to pass the entire thing, right? And I can tell you that, I can assure you that I fail every single levels for the ethics, and I still get the CFA. So you can actually brush that off. Because to me, I'm not saying that I'm not ethical. but I just don't know how to answer those questions. They gave me all the multiple choice, A, B, C, and D. They all look like the same. So I didn't study the ethics session, and I answered it wrong, and I failed the ethics part. It was clearly marked in the answer in the result slip. I failed the ethics sessions, but I get a really high score in the equities, fixed income, everything. So you can actually do that. But again, I'm not saying that I'm unethical, but I'm just saying I don't know how to answer the question, because again, they all look the same. It is the same thing as auditing. I get my CPA accountant exam done, but my auditing exam is just barely past the passing score. So that was different. So one thing I want to let you know is the probability, right? So calculating the probability. But the second thing is I want you to know is the risk and return. And this is actually very important. So we are going into the session. So A, B, I will leave it to Eva to go over with you, or you can go over yourself. But for risk and return, it is something more important, because and I want to share this with you. So when we do investment, you always want to do the risk and return. So always remember this. Participate in the assignment number 2 simulation game, and attend your tutorials. Very practical. So the nature of investment. When we talk about risk and return, there has to be some measure. So how do you measure the risk, or how do you measure return? 回報，咩係回報啊？咁你會講 people will talk about, oh, maybe I get 5% return, 10% return. That's return. And the unit that we are going to use is percentage. Very easy, right? So 10%, 15%. And then when we talk about percent, there has to be a reference point, the base. And the base could be a last year's value. So maybe I invest in this stock at $100. Now it's $120. What is the return? 20%. Very easy, right? So you don't even need a calculator to do that, right? And in the exam, or even in a quiz or in ICS, it will be something similar. We are not going to ask you to do like extremely complicated calculations, but it will be something very, when you look at that, it will be very straightforward. The key is you have to understand the logic, the theory behind it. So that is the return, and it's in percentage, right? Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention one thing. In this Excel file, sheet, there's a lot of links, right? And there are ER, something called ER, extra reading. It is the reference reading, and you don't need it. You don't need it. When I said ER extra reading, just for your knowledge, EOS extra out syllabus will not be in the quiz or in the ICA. It's just extra information. So don't worry about the something like this. I just post that for your own good. And if there is anything I missed this one. Just a return. And so make sure you do this. Not every single thing will be in the quiz or in the ICAs. So the PowerPoint itself is important, but then listen to Eva when she prepare the ICAs with you, when she prepare the quiz with you. Those are more important than the slide itself. So the slide will build you up the knowledge. But if you want to get a good grade, attend the tutorial sessions. I emphasize them more than 5 times, right? So that is important. Whenever you don't know anything, very easy, demand supply. You use this demand supply, and you can answer pretty much all the questions you see are out there. Why there is the real estate price in Hong Kong is so high? Not enough supply, a lot of demand. Why is the GameStop, another US company, US stock, the price went up from $20 to all the way to $200? Demand supply. So the key is the fundamental factor of interest rate. Let's talk about interest rate and inflation rates because these are the hottest topics nowadays. It is all from the demand supply. And I like to use a lot of cartoons here so you can watch the cartoons yourself. Again, the same bottle of water, if you sell it at 7-Eleven right now, probably I don't know, $6, $7 per bottle. But if you are selling in the desert, it could be $100, right? Same thing if you're selling the sand in the desert, that'll be like a minimum. But if I'm selling you in the ocean, the sand itself, it could be $100, right? So that's a demand supply. And of course, there will be the government's demand for the funds, which means that it's affecting the inflation. So what is the interest rate and inflation? We'll talk about this. Inflation is very real, very practical. I got some relatives in the US. Before that, they said, hey, when they get a lunch set, it's going to cost them $7, $7 US. That was a few years ago. Nowadays, at least $10 US. That's an inflation rate of $3, right? $3 divided by 7, that's close to 40%. 40% in 4 years, 10% per year. That is the inflation, because the same quality and amount of food, you have to pay more, a higher price, and that is inflation. And that is a problem, because if I tell you the cost of living increases by 10%, but your boss is not going to raise your salary, and what happened? I get $10,000 a month, and then but the cost of living went higher and higher. My salary is not. I will suffer a lot more because the $1 I'm holding is not going to work the same dollar right now, like 4 years ago and now. So that will be a big problem, and that is inflation. So central bank will always control the inflation. And I can tell you from history, and a history of including the Chinese 4,000 years history. If you believe a government is going to collapse, a dynasty, 一個朝代 collapse， 即係一個朝代滅亡，佢之前發生嘅事咧，就一定會係經濟上出現咗通脹，通脹就係 inflation。你去睇翻唐朝、宋朝、元朝、明朝、清朝，當佢印嗰啲紙幣通脹到係冇辦法可以控制到咧，個朝就滅亡㗎啦，基本上係咁。History repeats itself every single one。呢個所以點解美國係咁緊張要控制呢個經濟，尤其是係通脹。佢哋聯邦中央銀行啊，個 Federal Reserve Bank 咧係唔會理任何關於我個借幾多錢啊，或者係我要發幾多債啊，佢係完全唔會好 care。但係唯一一樣嘢佢哋 care 得好緊要，就係 inflation。因為 inflation 一爆煲，你嗰個家庭嘅 control 就我俾咗幾個例子，就係巴西、阿根廷、墨西哥、土耳其，全部呢啲咧喺呢40-50年咧都經歷過 inflation。全部所有經歷過 inflation 嗰啲 high inflation 70%、200%，全部嗰啲咧嘅政權全部都冇晒，真係要洗牌，變咗個軍閥主義，跟住又再另一個又重新 set up 個國家。呢個咧 same thing happened in Africa. Inflation is a real concern, real problem。所以咧美國，你話美國人好叻，其實佢知道 control 唔到 inflation 就會係非常大家伙。嗱，咁我知道時間有限啦，不過我再話多啲俾你聽，就係cryptocurrency。個 anyone bought any cryptos at the lowest price, right? Cryptocurrency 咧係一個唔係一個 traditional economic， 佢係一個 currency 控制到 inflation。咁我調翻轉個問題問翻你，你估一個政府會唔會容許一個 currency 控制唔到 inflation？ 喺度市面度流通就可以用。個答案係咁點解中國佢會 ban 咗 cryptocurrency 咧？第一嗰個 money laundering 洗黑錢，咁呢個正常，個個都唔想。但係最緊要樣嘢就係佢控制唔到資金流量，控制唔到個 capital inflow outflow， 控制唔到 inflation， 控制唔到 exchange rate， 個 government 就會 collapse。你估中國政府會唔會希望見到呢個事情發生？梗係唔會啦。咁既然唔會，咁你就知道原來背後個 agenda 係有咁多嘢喺後邊。所以cryptocurrency 係一個佢哋係唔會俾佢批准嘅。但係美國政府就麻煩少少啦。咁你中國政府Chinese government they don't want they want control, right? So they don't allow the cryptocurrency. But the US government they cannot just say well we are going to ban the crypto. They cannot do that because it's free market. So they have to find all the regulations, all the loopholes, all the rules to prohibit, to stop the growth of the cryptocurrency. Hence, you see what happened in last year. 大家知道FTX 爆煲啦，有一個好大嘅嗱，嗰個人好實嗱，香港政府係好笨。大家知道 FinTech Week 啊，聽過好廣告 FinTech Week November last year in November 有個 FinTech Week， 陳茂波 Paul Chan 大家知啦，應該係財長喺香港度請咗嗰個 FTX 嘅 CEO 過嚟，個鬼仔30歲30零歲，專登請佢上嚟，仲要擺個 first speaker 去講嘢，即係開幕儀式咁滯，好緊要。全世界同新加坡爭緊就係嗰個人，請佢上嚟講嘢。好啦。講嘢之後發覺咩咧？2個禮拜之後，佢俾人捉咗去，就話俾佢聽，原來 fraudulent， 即係話係criminal case， 即係 fraudulent 即係欺騙，即係嗰個叫中文點啊 ？fraudulent 即係總之商業罪案㗎啦，係直情係捉咗啦，依家係有罪㗎啦。佢呢個基本上係坐起碼都最少都10幾20年㗎啦。你話俾佢聽 FinTech Week 香港政府擺到做頭條，2個禮拜之後俾人捉咗坐監，話原來佢啲帳係全部爛嘅，你係咪笑死人咧？係嗱，但係咧呢個情況就係佢哋點解會揀香港嚟做咧？因為香港成日都想爭，就乜嘢都唔睇，咁你結果就嚟，投資呢樣嘢就一定要睇，究竟佢做緊咩咧？嗱，今日做過前幾日就發生呢個事啦，但係今日咧。啱琴日咧就係 SEC 咧又再捉多2個 CEO of cryptocurrency 嘅，啱嗰日 SEC 捉，即係美國嘅證監。咁佢依家就其實喺度監管得好緊要，就話佢係failure because they are selling public， they are raising public funding through the securitization。就因為咁樣係 illegal， 所以佢係捉咗嗰2個。其實美國政府就好叻地用另一個方法嚟去禁止呢啲 cryptocurrency 去嗰個 fraud， 就佢哋就係咁。嗱咁呢個咧就係this is actually what I want to share with you with the current news and about what's going on. Inflation is a serious thing. Okay, only one formula that I want you don't need to remember, but try to understand. Is the norm is this one right here, the right-hand side one? The real rate equals to the nominal rate minus the inflation rate. Very simple. 你去銀行問銀行借錢，你估銀行會咩叫 nominal rate， 咩叫 real rate 呢？ real rate 就話即係你本身真正，譬如3% 嘅 real rate 係真係3%。咁你香港 inflation rate 可能係可能4% 咁樣，咁你3加4係7% 啦。你入銀行問佢借錢嗰陣時，你估問銀行，我可唔可以同你借個 real rate 嘅咧？你嗰個銀行會同你講咩？你都傻嘅，我點會借個3% 俾你？我梗係借7% 俾你，點會借個低嘅俾你咧？咁佢一定係借個高嘅俾你。咁高嗰個咧就係叫做 nominal rate， 個 real rate 咧就通常係低啲。咁 assume inflation rate 係一個正數啦，咁所以一定係3加4等於7。咁有冇情況底下 inflation rate 係負數嘅咧？有機會發生。呢個機會咧就喺日本啦。日本 inflation rate 咧，咁佢負咗好多年，因為冇經濟增長，所以其實日本係好叫做好濕滯。咁 嗱，講啊咁，我今日就係講呢個 interest rate 先，咁我就下次再繼續講關於咩叫 risk management，好冇？嗱，我就中文英文就嚟去㗎啦。咁啊，因為如果你大家想我去講國語都得嘅，廣東話都得，英文都得，但係去到某啲緊要位嘅咧，我就可能真係轉翻到中文，咁你就會聽得明啲，好冇 ？Thank you。咁啊，有咩問題你 send 個 email 俾我。OK，thank you，thank you。下個禮拜五就再見喎，新年進步。新年都可以快樂嘅，我哋冇所謂嘅，即係快樂啊，快啲樂咁啊，其實都 OK。好，下個禮拜見，下個禮拜見。係
因為咁就方力比較細嘅，巴西同西即係佢哋 regulation，因為巴西係間實體，係好細，咁所以佢哋就冇放啲錢落去。係，即係佢哋慢慢嚟嘅。係啊。咁但係點解可能有啲比較細啲嘅，可能歐盟或者歐盟間諜嘅佢哋會包括。佢哋已經喺美方其他一個正常做係有冇呢個把風嘅諗？因為 crypto 係可以帶俾佢好多其他嘅 business， 但係即係佢係有佢嘅 benefit， 有啲其他 tech 嘅 technology 嘅嘢、新科技啊、新趨勢嘅嘢，同佢繼續講。唔緊要 ，OK， 拜拜。所以係冇拜拜，係冇，即係其實佢哋係有個新嘅。叫新嘅現金流出咗嚟咯，咁但係問題咁，大家都想爭翻杯金，即係香港都唔想買，我哋玩 crypto。你如果大陸望住香港喎，我睇你香港搞到點先？你香港搞衰咗嘅咧，我上面就唔搞㗎啦。咁所以香港係乜嘢都係叫試嘅基地。crypto 我哋試 ，covid 我哋試，你又我哋又係我哋開始試先開晒啲嘢，跟住之後發覺哇原來都 OK 喎，咁佢哋唔常開咯，佢一定揾我哋試。咁所以個問題就係話我哋係。究竟我哋香港搞到點咧？我哋好明顯衰咗啦。咁啊，叫咗個 FTX 過嚟，講完之後2個禮拜之後佢俾人捉咗，咁係有問題。但係問題我睇下你哋做唔做點。香港都有 exchange， 但係點解嗰陣時即係唔揾幣安？因為幣安嗰個其實係中國人嚟。係啊。咁點解係揾 FTX？即係我好奇問啫。